So let me introduce myself and my institute. I am Divya Sunil from a faculty at Avigna Learning Institute, which is located in JP Nagar, Bangalore. We are an English training institute started in 2006, and we have been training more than 1,000 plus students in the past 14 years. Avigna specializes in corporate training, soft skill development, and enhancing communication skills. We also train students to face interviews and group discussions where communication skills are required to be at its peak so that they are picked out from a crowd of job aspirants. Our personality development courses aim to boost a student's self-confidence and self-esteem. Okay, so I would like to inform the participants today that we will be issuing e-certificates for all the registered participants of today's webinar. So I would like all of you to register in your correct names, the names that you want in the certificates, the correct name, phone, the contact number, and the email ID so that we can issue certificates. Okay, this is going to be an interactive session, as you know. Today, I would like to throw light on the 3 pillars of success. Okay, so which are those 3 pillars of success? The first is IQ or intelligence quotient. The second is AQ or adversity quotient. And the third is EQ, that is emotional quotient. IQ, as you all are familiar with the term IQ, is emotional quotient, which is a measure of a person's intelligence. So anything between a score of say 80 to 119 is considered as average intelligence. And anything above 130, 140 is considered as super intelligence, let's say. Okay, adversity quotient or AQ, that's the second pillar of our success. We will talk 2 minutes on this adversity quotient because we are, right now facing, or let's say, a few of the incidents that have happened in the past few months have, brought this adversity quotient to our notice. So what is this adversity quotient? Now, it is the ability of a person to deal with adversities in life. Okay, that is, facing adversities or facing difficulties, holding on to life even in the face of difficulties, turning your obstacles into opportunities. Okay, I know it's not easy. It definitely is not easy to just to face difficulties. It's easy for me to tell, but I know it's difficult for those of you who are going through difficulties, especially now with the COVID situation. There's a recession that is setting in, and many of us would have lost jobs. Some of us have suffered great losses in business. Okay, sometimes so these during these times, I would like you guys to not give up on your work. Okay, not give up on yourself, on your life. Okay, and try talking to a friend, try talking to your elders, maybe a spiritual guru, uh, somebody that you trust, so that they can help you with suggestions, they can give you certain solutions to your problems. You may be having a heavy heart, but if you talk to a friend, a trusted person, it's going to definitely help you. You're going to feel relieved, you will feel better. We also come across children who take who take drastic steps when they are not able to do well in their academics, or when parents scold them. Okay, if you are a parent, or if you are one of the children out there, I mean, we are all children after all. Whatever age we are in, we are always children to our parents. So to the children out there, I would suggest that please, please, please talk to parents and find friends to whom you can talk. Don't take these drastic steps. Just because you have one bad day doesn't mean that the whole life is bad. Life is beautiful. Remember that there is light at the end of a tunnel. So just wait, be patient for this low tide, for this depression to pass, and there will definitely be better days ahead. To help you out, let's talk about Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Okay, if you people remember, he was a superstar or of the 70s and 80s, and then he had an accident. I'm sure you will all recall the accident that he had on the sets of the movie Coolie, where he almost, where we all thought actually, or the doctors also thought that, you know, we would never get him back. But still, he held on to his willpower. Surgeries were conducted. People prayed for him throughout the world. All Indians all around the world prayed for him. And after a couple of days, or let's say a couple of months, he recovered and he is back in business. Yes? So understand that life is beautiful and it has to be lived to the complete extent. Okay. Our third pillar of success is EQ, which is actually our topic for today. So, what exactly is this EQ, or otherwise called as emotional quotient? Okay, so emotional quotient is also otherwise called as emotional intelligence, and it is the ability of a person, okay, to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions in a positive way. That is, understanding our emotions and those of the others. For example, let's say you are a parent of a 3-year-old child. You go to a toy shop, and your child or your son points to a toy car which costs around 1,000 rupees. Now, you know, 1,000 rupees for you is over the budget, it's costly, it's expensive, whatever. But you are not, you know, how will little one understand all these big, big words? Can you tell him it's a costly car? I can't buy this for you. No, it's very difficult to convince him, you know, how to do that. So, this is where our emotional quotient comes into play. So, how do you convince the little child that, you know, this is an expensive car which is over my budget? This is where our emotional quotient comes into play. So stay tuned to know what is emotional quotient. Okay, these are some of the emojis that you will be familiar with. You will be using this in your WhatsApp more than text. Now we use these kind of emojis to express our emotions. So the emojis that we can recognize, you know, for smile, when we are happy, we have an emoji that shows just a smile, another one that shows our teeth, yet another one, you know, where we are literally so happy that tears are coming out of our eyes. So we can, you know, show the extent of our happiness with the help of these emojis. Let's take a look at some of the emojis that we face in our daily life. Anger. Oh, sure. Anger is when let's say, the teacher is angry at the child when the child is not doing the homework, or parents are angry at children when we do something really naughty, or friends are angry at each other when you don't turn up for a function, when you don't turn up for a gathering. Okay. Love. Okay. Love is a beautiful emotion that bonds people all around the world. Okay. It is something to be experienced by one and all. Okay. There's love between friends, love between parents and children. Infatuation, or crush as we call it, is also part of love, where we are infatuated by the hero or heroines that we see on the screen. Okay. Shame. We are ashamed when we do something wrong, or we are humiliated in by let's say we are humiliated by the teacher in front of our friends. So we are ashamed, of we feel shame. Next is fear. Fear of exams, fear of interviews, uh, or fear of just ghost movies, supernatural things is all fear. Okay. Enjoyment. Oh, enjoyment is when you feel really happy. Let's say I enjoy shopping, or we enjoy cooking, or we enjoy going to parties. So that is enjoyment. Sadness. Okay. Sadness is when we feel grief or sorrow at the loss of a loved one, or sometimes we are gloomy, we are out of, you know, moody, gloomy kind of a thing. Some of us are gloomy even on a rainy day. At least I am gloomy on a rainy day. I just don't feel like getting out of the bed. I don't feel like working on a gloomy day. The best thing I like on a rainy day is to have piping hot tea and the fritters. So that's the positive thing I see on a rainy day. Surprise, okay, you're surprised, you're astonished. Okay, we are sometimes astonished to see small babies, you know, the ones who are 3 months or 6 months old babies, when they smile at us, or when they make those funny baby sounds, or they try to talk to us in their baby language. We are happy and amazed at how it happens. Or we may be surprised when we score good marks, you know, much beyond our expectation. When we score marks, we are surprised. Sometimes it goes the other way around. We are surprised when we have not scored marks up to our expectation. That means we have scored below our expectation. That is also surprise. Okay. Next, what is the relationship between IQ and EQ? That is between your intelligence quotient and your emotional quotient. Now, research says that IQ can help you to be successful to the extent of only 20% in life, and the rest is taken care by EQ or our emotional quotient. IQ can get you hired. That means your technical knowledge can get you hired, whereas EQ can get you either fired or promoted, both the ways. Okay, let's take a look at one of the cases. Now, a person with IQ, a high IQ person, highly intelligent person, I can think of Mr. Let's say Steve Jobs. For those who do not know who he is the, or he was the chairman of our Apple computers, our iPhones that many of us proudly show off. You know, an iPhone is a status symbol right now. Okay, so according to Dr. Robert Sutton, who's a behavioral psychologist, okay, in his book called as The Asshole's Rule, in that he has mentioned that Steve Jobs is a person with extremely high IQ, but very less EQ. Okay, so that is one example for a person with high human intelligence. A person with a good balance of IQ and EQ, I would suggest Sudha Murthy. If you are aware of our Bangalore Sudha Murthy, for those who do not know, she is the wife of Infosys chairman, that is Narayan Murthy. Okay, so she on her own, you know, I mean, I don't have to introduce her as a wife of Mr. Narayan Murthy. She is a person in her own right. Okay, Sudha Murthy, she is a chairman or the founder of Infosys Foundation, which is an NGO. She's also authored many books. She is involved in taking care of underprivileged children, educating children, and taking care of destitutes. I would say she is a person, okay, with a good EQ, with a good balance of EQ and IQ, because she has completed her post graduation from one of the top universities in India, that is the Indian Institute of Science. So she is intelligent as well as she has a very good EQ. So when we say a combination of good IQ and EQ, that is what leads to a professional success. Okay. Now, what qualities do we look for in an ideal leader? When I say an ideal leader, it means a perfect leader, a role model that we look up to. Okay. Can you guys type in whom do you consider as an ideal leader and any one quality in them? Why you consider them as an ideal leader? Narendra Modi as a leader. Okay. Can a leader function on his own? You know, I'm good, my IQ is good, my everything, I know about the country, I know about the politics, I know about the policies. If I, supposing I am, let's say, Modi ji, so I'm just, you know, giving an example kind of a thing. Can he function on his own? I don't think so. Yes, no leader can function on his own. He needs a team of people with him to function effectively or efficiently. So we have Modi along with his ministers who are able to lead India forward. So any leader should be able to communicate with people around him. He should be able to understand the feelings of the people around him and connect with the people around him to be a good leader. Okay, according to Daniel Goleman, who is the father of emotional intelligence, or the person who popularized the word emotional quotient or emotional intelligence, there are 5 pillars of emotional intelligence in leadership. That's self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Let's see one by one. Self-awareness, as in being aware of yourself, being aware of your strength and weaknesses, and turning those weaknesses into strength. Example, you are a great baker. You know, you bake pastries and brownies and wedding cakes and birthday cakes, you name it, and you're able to bake it. That is your strength. But you are not able to organize a birthday party. Now, that is your weakness. Okay, so to overcome this weakness, or how do you convert this weakness into a strength? You try to collaborate with a friend who has this quality of organizing events. Collaborate with a friend, you know, join in, and both of you can team up to, you know, take care or to cater to a birthday party. Next is self-regulation, as in regulating your emotions, keeping a control on your temper, keeping a control on your emotions. It's very easy to get angry, but when you get angry, you know, try to count 1 to 100 if it works for you. Keep doing little meditation, some breathing exercises. That's going to help calm your mind. Okay. I'm not sure whether you guys are of the young generation or like me, a little older generation. Some of us, if you are aware, used to go to the old-fashioned cinema halls. Now, whatever you see is this multiplex hi-fi stuff. Not that. Before, we used to have cinema halls where we didn't have this such a big screen or anything like that. But at the entry of a hero, we all used to, you know, scream and whistle and jump when we see the hero on the screen. That is how we used to express our happiness on seeing the hero on the screen, or for that matter, even the heroine on the screen. But nowadays in the multiplex, you don't see that kind of hooting anywhere. There's no jumping around or anything in the theaters. Everybody just silently watches a movie. Max to max, people just clap when they see the hero or something like that. Okay, so depending on the environment, we are controlling our emotions. So that's the thing. Motivation, next. Motivation, as in motivating yourself to do good in life and motivating those around you also. Be an optimist, see the good things in life, be, let's say, positive. Okay, that's how you motivate. Empathy, okay? Empathy, as in showing concern to somebody's feelings. Let's say, for example, you have a working mother who's got a sick child at home. Now, she's going to be in the office. So, physically, she's in the office, but mentally, she is at home. So, if you are her boss or if you have an authority over her, try to give her work from home, you know, so that both the ways it works. Or if you have a daycare facility at your office, that can also take care of a problem. Okay, next we have is social skills. Okay, social skills, as in we interact with people, we talk to people, we attend parties or we attend gatherings, we attend functions. Okay, these are all ways of mingling with people or socializing with people. Even, you know, when there are conflicts between our friends, if you can become the umpire and solve these conflicts, then you have good social skills. Bonding between teammates. Okay, that is also really important. It's not enough to be just the project manager and be the leader in an organization. You should know how to bond your team together. That's, as I said, any leader cannot function on his own. He needs a team with him to work efficiently. Okay. Next, what is self-esteem? Oh, what is self-esteem? Now, self-esteem is a measure of how much you value, respect, and feel confident about yourself. How much do you appreciate yourself? That is what is all about self-esteem. Now, some of us may have low self-esteem. So what could be the reason of having such a low self-esteem? It could be our childhood experiences. You know, as a school child, maybe you were bullied in school, or you were not the cool teenager. maybe you had acne, or you were not really much into academics or sports, or singing, dancing, theaters, the co-curricular activities. Maybe you were not a star in those activities, or when you go for a job also, you're not a very talkative person, so nobody comes to try and talk to you. So these are some of the reasons why we may be having a low self-esteem. Sometimes we look at these hoardings and we see these film stars or models with their perfect hair, their perfect skin, their perfect body, and we try to compare ourselves to them. Okay, I would suggest, they are in the glamour world, and don't compare yourself to these models. They are in a glamour world, they are expected to look good. Okay, but understand that we are also looking good in our own way. See, I may not be Kareena Kapoor Khan, but I am loved and respected by my friends, by my family, by those who love me. It is important to be loved. Love yourself and everybody else will love you. That is how we are going to get a good self-esteem. Okay, some of the tips for building a high self-esteem. Make a list of your strengths and weaknesses. Okay, convert your weaknesses into strengths. Develop a support system of friends. Surround yourself with friends who motivate you, who push you to do good in life. Practice positive self-talk. Keep telling, I can do it, I will do it. Practice good health habits. A healthy lifestyle is very important. Eat good food or healthy food. Practice a little bit of light exercises, maybe a little walking, jogging, meditation, yoga, anything that you can find time to do. Avoid doing things just to go along with the crowd. Okay, this is something. Now see, when you are in an office, sometimes the boss is going to ask you for an opinion, and let's say you are 10 members in a team. 9 of them say, yes boss, we will we will go ahead with your suggestion, but you may be the one who's going to give a negative opinion and say, no boss, I don't think this is right. It's okay if you think that it is wrong to go ahead with what the boss says. It's okay, tell it in a subtle manner, but at the same time substantiate your answer. Tell the reasons why you are giving a negative answer. Exhibit a good attitude. Then set short-term goals that will strengthen your weaknesses. We had all these long-term goals, which is very difficult to achieve. Okay, so what I would suggest, sort of renovate your resolutions and make them into a short-term goal. Okay, let's say for example, you are a student and you have exams coming in. So out of 50 for the first exam, maybe you have just scored 20 out of 50. So make a decision that you're going to better the marks. Don't make a decision, I'm going to score 40 or 45 out of 50 for the next exam. Come on, man. That is magic. Okay, you work hard and you try to aim to around 24, for the next exam. And then the next exam, a little more better than 24, maybe a 30 or a 32, something like that. So take baby steps and move ahead. That way we can make sure that we achieve our goals and we strengthen our weaknesses. Don't be afraid to try something new. Don't just go with the stereotype kind of things. Be innovative, be creative, try to do something out of the box. If you experience defeat, don't dwell on it. Okay, just because you've made a mistake, don't just keep on saying, oh no, I made a mistake. Make changes in your plan. The first plan did not work out. It's okay, make changes. Okay, let me tell you something. Thomas Alva Edison, okay, the person who invented a light bulb, he failed 10,000 times before he actually made the light bulb that we use in our day-to-day life. No, he did not consider it as 10,000 failures. Instead, he said, what he said? He said, it's the 10,000 ways. I have found 10,000 ways of how not to make the light bulb. That's the way he looked at it. He didn't look at it as a failure, but he looked at it as ways to do things in a better way. Okay, so that's how you should also do. Dress well. Okay, dress according to the situation. If it's a if it's a meeting, dress formally. If it is a gathering with friends, you can dress casually. So when we dress formally, we feel more powerful. Our self-esteem is also high, right? When we go for a meeting, how do we feel? We feel really powerful. We are able to change the world. But when we go to meet out with our friends, we never think about our self-esteem. We are cool and casual when we go. Okay, next, what is attitude? Let's see what is this now. Attitude is an outward expression of our state of mind. Attitude is what we think in our mind, and we show it to the outside world through our eyes or through the mirror of our mind. It reflects our thinking. What is inside is shown outside. Okay, we have three different types of attitudes, that is positive, negative, and neutral attitude. Let's see each one by one. What is this? What is positive attitude? That is to think positively, to be optimistic in life, to see the brighter side of life, to energize ourselves. You know, when you have a positive attitude, you are going to exhibit positive vibes to all the people around you. You have to, such positive people always have a sense of self-confidence, and they believe in themselves. They believe in themselves, and they can make the others also believe in positive vibes. They work with sincerity, and they are determined to complete their work. They are all hard workers. Okay, positive people also command respect. What is negative attitude? Oh, this is something I do not want any of you to have. It's a complete no-no. Now, the negative attitude people to just think of failures, of what they couldn't do or what they can't do. They doubt themselves and they doubt others. They're always complaining, you know, I couldn't do this because of these reasons. They don't try to find solutions. Instead, they find problems. But what should our aim be in life? There are going to be obstacles in life. Our aim in life is to overcome these obstacles and move ahead in life. Okay, having a negative attitude is like having a flat tire. You can't go anywhere without changing it. Okay, they're always angry, frustrated, negative vibes everywhere. The next is neutral attitude. Okay, neutral attitude is what I guess few of us have, you know, something like what would you say, chalta hai kind of attitude. Such people do not care for anything. They're not bothered about what is happening around the world. If you ask them an opinion, you know, they are like, I don't know, you can do whatever you want, kind of a thing. Yeah? Lazy lifestyle, laid back lifestyle in life, laid back attitude in life. Okay. They don't try to, you know, they don't go head on with their problems. They just pile it up and they say, yeah, I'll check on it later on, that kind of a thing. Now, how do we develop a positive attitude? Okay, always use positive words, disregard and ignore negative thoughts. You know, keep all those toxic thoughts out of your life. Associate yourself with people who think positively. Surround yourself with people who are going to motivate you, who are going to pump you up to do something good in life. Engage in some regular physical exercise. You know, as I said, you know, some meditation, walking, you know, be with friends. When you go jogging, you meet new people. It helps. You know, it's very difficult to walk alone. Instead, if you have 3-4 people to walk along with you and you walk in groups, sometimes walking is pleasure that time. Read at least one page of an inspiring book every day. Oh, yes, I would suggest, you know, books by famous people like Sudha Murthy or our APJ Abdul Kalam. He has written Wings of Fire by Abdul Kalam. You can read these books. When you read autobiographies, you know the hardships that they have gone through in life, and the difficulties or things that they've gone through in life, what they have done to overcome these difficulties and to reach the position where they are today. Watch inspiring movies that make you feel happy. try to watch comedies or watch movies like Mary Kom, where you get to know, what she went through in life to be a great boxer that she is today. Or you can watch Bhag Milka Bhag is also a great movie. I'm just giving a suggestion. You can just watch any movie. Okay. Listen to a good motivational speaker. I would suggest you to watch, let's say, TEDx talks or Josh talks. These are really good to build up our N2 or to give us motivation. Okay. So emotional intelligence is a combination of self-esteem, or let's say high self-esteem, and lots and lots and lots of positive attitude. Okay, so I hope my session was helpful for you. If it improves, or if it helps to improve your life, it brings in a positive, helps you to bring in a positive attitude, please do mail me, let me know that it was good for you, and I will be really happy that I could bring a change in your life. Okay, a little bit about Avigna. Okay, we all are, we are training our students even for the certification exams, that is OET, IELTS, TOEFL, and PT academic. Okay, these are exams which, let's say, students and working professionals take when they want to study or work abroad. Okay, so some are, let's say, profession specific, like OET is for the medical and healthcare professionals, whereas IELTS, TOEFL, PT can be even taken by the non-medical professionals. We are also conducting classes, that's your language enhancement programs are being conducted here at Avigna Learning Institute. That's, we have business English, English startup, English fluency, and speak English confidently. These are some of the classes that we are doing. Please do contact us for any queries regarding our courses. That the number that you see on the screen, that is 9886052174. We have special offers for those of you who are attending our webinar today. Please mail us at info@avignalearning.com, and also visit our website at www.avignalearning.com so that you know more about our institute. So thank you. You've been a great audience, and I hope I was able to make an impact in your life. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.